Miami now, round 5, coming off of a weirdly disappointing race from Lando Norris. Pierre Gasly walks to a victory. Lando locks up a couple of times down the stretch and just was a little poor all in all. But that said, he has 95 control and he's still doing that. That's kind of crazy. We are going to bump up your reactions, Lando. Lando's a 90 overall. Let's go. Perfect. I check this every time just in case because I always forget. Let's go with medium speed downforce. Hey, Stanelli's an 84 overall. Our staff is improving. Pit crew management because our pit stops are horrific. Pit crew 80 tire change. We're slowly, surely on our way. We will continue. I will answer that question in 2 seconds, but first I have some upgrades to put in. It is time. We've done an upgrade to everything else. We are back on our stuff, getting an underfloor that is going to be flying, to say the least. We'll keep everything balanced. Our car is good, but it could be better, you know? It just could. It could be better. And then we will also do a British Austria. Okay, rear wing. It's a rear wing. We need a rear wing, and I'm actually gonna save a little bit of everything else. I focus on low speed because apparently the one fitted is the worst. Intense 2.3 milli out the door. We have a research going, so we can't finish our last one. We will continue on. Cool. Race prep. This flying, speed running, qualifying position 2. And the top 4 is always easy. Finish position. I don't like doing fastest lap. Finish position streak should finish this one. Let's go to the Miami race weekend. And so we're going to 2 out of the 3 US races next season, and we cannot wait. Also, I just love Vegas, so any excuse to go to Vegas and get to see an F1 race, like, sign me up. I'm in. Lando goes, well, it was purple until Pierre got there. Who is gonna do it? They're already, I mean, they're well into the lap at this point. Purple sectors, one each. It's all about who's gonna put in the best final sector. Oh, this is getting spicy. Lando is gonna cross first. Is he gonna do it? Is he gonna put it on pole? He puts it on pole. Pierre takes it right back by 100th. Oh, this is what we love to see. This is the stuff. This is the stuff we wanted. This is why we got rid of Mick. I love Mick. We're gonna bring him back. Shh, don't tell anybody. We're gonna bring him back eventually. This is what I wanted to see. I wanted to see 2 drivers in the same car duking it out, throwing haymakers left and right. We're getting it. Let's go. That's a spicy strat right there. That is a spicy strat. We're gonna go for it. No rain whatsoever. This is gonna get spicy. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't want to. I want to do a medium. I want to do a medium hard medium. I want to do a medium hard medium. We're gonna do that. Medium hard medium. Yeah, we're gonna stick with that. Everything else is exactly the same. Medium hard medium for Lando. Medium soft for Pierre. This is gonna get spicy, I'm sure. All right, let's get it. There's a guy on YouTube called Formula Tiger. He did the thing to see the crazy lineups. He's currently at season 28. Holy. An insane underdog of Takashi Yamasaki finally scoring his first points after 5 seasons of F1. Let's go.
Let's see if they can take advantage of that position.
That's the kind of thing I want to do for the next game. I think in the next game I want to do a series, a real series with Haas, and then a crazy series like that as well.
It's lights out,
and away we go. Kevin Magnussen, P3, battling Valtteri Bottas, by the way. Happy for Kevin. We're flying, by the way. Tire check. Medium, a bunch of hard runners. And then, I mean, that's it. It's all mediums, hards. Looks like most of these hard runners are probably the hard, medium. And then these medium runners down here could be anything. We are flying. We have broken the 1 second barrier to Valtteri Bottas behind. We are flying. Just in general, we are flying. All right, Lando, save your fuel. Get pulled along by Pierre, please. Also important notes for this save that I will reiterate at this point, but it hasn't really come up much. We are doing no team orders on this save. If it happens, it happens. Bottas flirting with that 1 second gap. You tried having him get Takashi Yamasaki his first points in the same season as his first World Drivers' Championship since he had such an OP car. True. It's not a bad way to do it, honestly. Honestly, our car on this save was well on its way to being stupid OP until we got the regulation vote. Was it last episode or the one before that, where they're nerfing like a bunch of the components by like 50 to 75%. Like crazy. Please stop going side by side. Thank you. So you're only gonna research. So I've heard people talking about how researching basically like does nothing. You're always much better off just continuing to develop the car and not research. Is that true? Because I always usually do research, but at the same time, like, it does nothing initially, I see. At what point does it become beneficial to research over just develop the car? I mean, to be fair, last season we did the most of the research just because we locked up the constructors and drivers championship so early that I just started dumping everything into research. Once you make parts that applies its boost, I see. Oh, okay, so that's why it's probably more beneficial in the later parts of the season after you've done some developing. You're able to use the boosts and stuff and get it even higher. Oh wait, no, I see what you're saying. I get it. So that's why. Oh, I see. So yeah, it probably is worth. So you'll get some trash parts and then shoot up to first, and then yeah, I see. I gotcha. I understand what you're saying. I'm picking up what you're putting down, Chief. I gotcha. So yeah, so researching at the end of the season will only benefit for the next season after you design the initial first. I gotcha. Okay, that makes way more sense because I never actually like took the time to figure out and research exactly what the difference between like just researching and developing is. But that makes total sense, honestly. Yeah, I found the technical regulation change that basically just nerfs every car into the dust. Where it's like, I think they voted through the chassis one, so like chassis gets demoted by like 65%, the front wing is like 55%, rear wing is like 50 something percent. There's another one that's like 60%. It's crazy. So basically next season it's going to be a big return to normal. But I will say, besides like these small gaps that develop at this season specifically so far, every car has been able to like follow fairly closely. Like there hasn't been very many instances in which like everyone is so spread out throughout the circuit. That's I
think that was a crash. It's a race position gained for Mercedes.
Okay.
no words. The gap from P1 to P20 right now is 26 seconds. 28 seconds. 29 seconds. Not terrible. Honestly, considering Stroll, Maloney, and Van Dorn are all down here, like that's usually pretty good. Your stuff get destroyed? No? Okay, good. Wait. Oh, okay, we're good. See, he does occasionally in this one as well. Like there will be stretches of races where he makes 0 mistakes, he's perfect, and then there will be like a string of like 2 or 3 races in a row where he'll crash 6 times or something like that. Yeah, I don't get it. I've worked on his control so much and his braking and all of that stuff, and he'll still just go out and just do that. I probably didn't need to retire the car, but at the same time, he had rear wing damage, and this early into a circuit like this, that's only going to get worse. It's just, he's done 2 championships. Woof. Woof. I remember in season 3, we had an opportunity to kind of fight further up in the championship, but we ended up making some mistakes like that, and kind of threw away our chance at a top finish, and we kind of were bubbled kind of like in the midfield. And so I remember I literally dumped so much into research because we were so far away. Like we couldn't throw the next position in the championship, but we couldn't catch whoever was ahead of us, just from like various mistakes like this. Ugh. That's that's so frustrating. It's so frustrating when it's like he doesn't like Miami, I think, because oh man, I can think of, he has crashed I think almost every time we've raced in Miami, which is crazy to say. I think he just does not like this Miami circuit at all. That's the only explanation. Early welcome in. Oh, are we gonna talk about it? Because I can talk about it. Mercedes back in black, baby. Oh baby, oh my. Not only is it the sexiest car on the grid, they also get the benefit of probably being the only constructor to get away with a fully black and carbon car. The weight saving they're getting from saving paint is ridiculous, but they're also going to get away with it because their car looks sexy as hell. George World Drivers Championship. I am so fascinated to see what that Merc can do this year, and I'm curious to see what Lewis can do when he doesn't spend half the season like testing and trying to fix the car. I really want the W14 to be good enough to compete. Consider it like not painted. Yeah, it's basically just not painted, but also they made it look sick as hell. You're a second driver fan? I think everybody loves a good second driver. It's a classic underdog story that you get to see 10 times in this instance. Like, you always want the underdog to do well, and in this instance you get to see it pretty much every weekend. All right, since we're all here, let's figure it out. Give me your top 3 new liveries for this year. I want to hear your guys' top 3 favorites of the new cars since they're all out now, and then I'll give you mine because I got some hot takes to drop. Last few years before F122, you used Merc because you liked the Mercedes look. I get that. I do like the Mercedes. Honestly, the silver wasn't bad, but man, black just looks mean. 1 Merc, 2 Haas, 3 Alfa Romeo. Dude, I tell you what, Alfa Romeo came to play this year. I mean, yeah, Merc has to be an easy top of the list. Easy top of the list. It makes my heart happy seeing Haas as number 2. I do like the new Haas car. I think they left a lot of potential unfulfilled, but at the same time, I think they did really well. And then the Alfa Romeo, honestly, the Alfa Romeo just going to red and black looks good. I would say this though, I think my top 3 are 1, the Merc. I'm gonna give you my top 4, but like 2 of them are gonna be tied. Number 1 is the black Merc. Gotta be, just has to be. Tied for second is the Ferrari and the all pink Alpine livery. Those are tied for second for me on favorite, and then third is Haas. Mercedes, Ferrari, Haas, Alpha. Yes, that sounds about right. Yes. Dude, I like the new Haas. I do. I'm not afraid to admit it. I know they went first and kind of left some people underwhelmed, but I think it looks pretty good. I think it looks good, especially, and then you add in the fact that that new livery and those new sponsorships are going to allow them to hit the budget cap for this season. Oh, I'm so excited for Haas this year. It's going to be great. As for the Ferrari, I love my favorite part about the new Ferrari is that they put the Ferrari across the rear wing like they had in Monza. That makes it look choice. That makes it look real good. Oh, who done it? Who is it?
We've just had a spin.
Kevin spinning in turn 1. Woof. You can't wait for the Chipotle Haas ads. Yes, I saw that. I would, I might have to start doing more Chipotle. I need to look into that more. It's gonna be great. They give us some juicy discounts for Haas fans. I'm in. We have a burrito spot that we're close to that's like our favorite that we definitely wouldn't cheat on with Chipotle much, but if they do something fun with Haas, I'm all in. All right, Lando, box this lap, please. Box this lap. Ross, it was hard to screw up after shitty collab with Russell. Yeah, I mean, true. You know, you're not wrong. I think as much I fully admit that I'm a Mick Schumacher fanboy, like to the death. But at the same time, I also fully understand why they went for someone like Nico Hülkenberg. Because I think Haas is entirely capable this season with Hülkenberg to be a solid midfield team, and I for one I'm here for it. Can't wait for the K-Mag wrap, dude. I'm in, dude. I'm so in. You got me. I'm in. All right, where is Lando gonna come out at? Because there's a large train of pretty much the rest of the top 10. But I mean, it's gonna be after everyone. Got it. Cool. Maybe ahead of K-Mag. Let's go ahead of K-Mag. What are we running ahead? Mediums? I mean, they're likely boxing soon. The hard runners still got a little longer to go. Finally, who understands why they went for Hulk? Yeah, see, I think people were the most angry, not because they chose Hülkenberg, but because they like the potential of Mick more. The problem with Haas giving a drive to someone like Mick is that Mick needs the time and resources to develop, where Haas need the consistency and skills necessary to score consistent points and finish in like the bottom to mid of the midfield. And so I think people were more, at least for me also, I think I was more upset at how they went about it more than the fact that they did it, you know? Like, at the end of the day, Haas needs to score points to survive, but at the same time, they like. I think it was just Mick fanboys being upset. You're expecting Red Bull to fall off a bit because they can't do as many updates with all the penalties. Yeah, I'm interested to see what's the wind tunnel restrictions look like for Red Bull to see how. Oh, double overtake, Lando! Let's go! That was big move, big moves. Expecting yeah, I'm curious to see what kind of ramifications the wind tunnel restrictions are going to have on them this year, I'm very fascinated to see the rest of the the top couple of constructors moving up towards them. It brings up too much. You think Mick going be fit for able to learn from? Yes, I think the best case scenario for the way the season ended for Mick is that he ended up as the reserve driver for Mercedes, because I think Lewis and George obviously aren't going anywhere for a couple of seasons, and even if Mick doesn't end up in another race seat somewhere else, I think a couple of years behind Lewis and even potentially George. I know realistically they're both like young drivers, but at the same time, being able to learn and from a team like Mercedes is going to be invaluable. You agree with that statement? But so many people are like, they're limiting their future development by replacing with Hulk, but they forget that Haas don't have a future with Mick at the moment. Yeah, you exactly nailed it. Obviously Mick and Mazepin were choices to go with. It was for money. Like, let's be honest, like Mick has amazing potential because of like it's I mean, obviously, but at the same time, Haas as a team can't operate with, oh, what a lunge, with the risks that come with someone like Mick. And so realistically, they need someone like Hulkenberg and Kevin Magnussen. And I know Kevin didn't have the finish to the season last year, like he started, but at the same time, like Mick, it's like I've been saying all year with like Pierre Gasly. I have been saying all year that Pierre Gasly needs to get out of the Red Bull family. Like, that's just an abusive relationship that he just needs to leave, and I'm happy that he's now in Alpine, and I hope he does well this year. Because I look at, like, on that line specifically, you look at like Albon at Williams and having the success that he's having at Williams. Like, I want that for Pierre, because I think Red Bull is just a toxic work environment for pretty much anyone who ends up there. And if you don't perform, like, it's just that. Mick would be perfect for AlphaTauri or Alfa Romeo. I have a feeling that when Audi take over Sauber for 26, that they might target Mick just as a German driver. They do already have their rookies. Yeah, that's the thing. It'll be interesting to see what kind of changes Audi wants to make once they come in a couple of years. But I think Mick is kind of, I mean, apparently there was that statement Mick put out earlier today about how he's already heard from a couple of teams with expressing some interest. So we'll see what comes up at the end of the season. But I think the best thing for Mick might actually be just spend a couple of seasons as a reserve under Merc, the Merc umbrella, and maybe take a seat at Williams potentially if Sargent doesn't work out. I think Joe will be mature enough to take over Audi as lead driver. You really like him? Yes, I like Joe as well. Honestly, I think he got a lot of flack sometimes this year for not, quite doing as quote unquote as much. But when you really consider the fact that he's a rookie paired up with like Valtteri, like I think he had a pretty successful season. And it might be priority for Audi since McLaren principal already moved there. Yeah, that's true. Andreas Seidel moving over and being, oh my God. That was crazy. Sorry, that was whoo, sheesh. Seidel moving over there and being their like president of operations or whatever it is. That could be an interesting thing. I don't know. Lando's career trajectory is just, it's so interesting to think about because, like, realistically, he probably shouldn't, if he's being honest with himself, he shouldn't stay at McLaren forever. But at the same time, I don't know if I necessarily see him going to like a Mercedes. I know a lot of people have been talking about Mercedes. I think Red Bull, the Red Bull family might be up for grabs. There was a lot of that talk about how Red Bull was trying to get Lando over when he signed his like big extension with McLaren. And so I think it's going to be very fascinating to see where he ends up when he probably inevitably, if McLaren can't give him like a championship level car, it'll be very interesting to see where he ends up.
Haas with an overtake.
Joe's a rookie, minimizes his mistakes and consistently decent pace relative to Valtteri. He deserves a seat. No, 100%. I 1,000,000% totally agree that that Joe 1,000,000% deserves the seat that he got and has. I don't think it would have been right for them to replace him for like anything. Also, Lando has just quickly and silently made his way back up to P1, by the way. Like, just methodically just decimated everybody. But the real shakeup might be here in a couple of years when F1 potentially lets in up to like 2 more new teams. I think that could get pretty spicy in terms of like driver lineups and shakeups as well. Throwing more coals on the fire might be a hot ticket item. You're gonna say Hamilton's seat be up around 24 to 26 if Mick wants to hang in for a bit, but if not, Mercedes goes after a driver like Charles, then Mick should try another team. 100%. I think if Mick gets an inkling that he has a chance at the Merc seat, he should 1,000,000% take it. Otherwise, yeah, stay for a couple of seasons, see how the market, develops for other teams, and then make the decision from there. I don't know, man. Everyone keeps talking about Charles to Merc. It's just like, I don't know, man. If Ferrari give him a half decent car, I think he loves Ferrari so much. It's just like that would be so fascinating to watch. F1 let in Andretti, please. Agreed. They were like, man, that was like a whole talking point like immediately after the season ended, and it was just like everyone was just like, no new teams. And it's just like, why? Come on, why not? And then they come back and say like maybe up to like 2 more teams. Also, I would love for Porsche, whichever pronunciation you prefer. I would love to see them come in and get on board with a new team and come in. I was kind of hoping that they would work with Williams. I know there was that discussion. I'm wondering also if Red Bull might regret in a couple of years regretting not going with the Porsche deal. But I know that they were asking for like crazy amount of equity in Red Bull Racing and all that stuff, so you can't expect them to budge too much on that. But at the same time, it would have been interesting. But I guess they were also working on Ford. Oh no, I totally understand. That's why they made it very clear that they were only wanting to come in as an engine manufacturer and not actually as a team. And so I would love to see if they would potentially partner up with another outfit who would actually run the team. Alpine will supply power units to Andretti if he'll be accepted for 26. You think so? Because didn't they say that they were going to partner up with Cadillac to make engines? Or is that just from sponsorship side? I can't say I really looked at their proposal too closely. But a French power supply in an American car, I'm sure that would go over well. Oh, that's right. Yes, Cadillac was the chassis. You're right. You're totally right. It's just a name like Alfa Romeo. Yeah, exactly. So just be like a title sponsor more than the actual like running team. I totally agree that Porsche makes way more sense for Porsche to focus on everyone else. French power, that's true. French power did give us a country. At least they definitely helped. Yeah, you got me on that one. You're definitely not wrong on that one. So there is that. I do agree. All right, I really got to use the restroom. Sean, welcome back. Battling for P4. Yeah, definitely. All right, I'm gonna run to the restroom real quick. All of you behave. Let me know if anything happens. Yeah, everyone shout for me. All right, I'll be right back. Okay.
Watch your safety car, slow down.
Yeah.
I literally sat down, went to take a sip of water, and a VSC started. Where are we at?
Sounds like there's been contact.
I mean, there's no way, right? There's no way we can't box yet. Not under a VSC. No, I can't. Can't justify. I heard someone was clamoring for a do-in perspective. Also, I definitely didn't watch it because I wasn't paying attention. Dude, don't take this podium cutscene away from me. We only heard one team interested in coming in. That would be an engine team, and I think it was Audi or Porsche, but that was back in December. Yeah, I know Audi is interested in coming in as just an engine supplier, and I know Porsche was also interested in being an engine supplier, but I don't think they really reached a deal with any team. Once the Red Bull deal fell through, there was a rumor that Williams might have been interested, but after everything, it was pretty much non-existent. Yes, the Ford engines though. Yeah, Ford is coming in for
will be ending.
Red Bull. That's gonna be
DRS is enabled.
that's gonna be interesting. All right, both Haas, relax, Chief, relax. Porsche wants to be not only power unit supplier, they'd want to have control of the team. You think so? I thought they were, when they were making their deal with Red Bull, they were only wanting to be the power unit supplier for Red Bull. I know they then asked for like 50% of the team, but at the same time, I feel like I remember that. I could be wrong. I could be entirely wrong, if we're being honest. Honestly, the new regulations in 26 are causing a lot of they wanted 51-49. I thought they wanted 50. I thought they literally wanted 50-50. But I feel like I remember that. You heard it was Honda coming back to Red Bull. I remember there was talks of that. I know Honda. There was the rumor of Honda and McLaren, which would be super interesting. Honda coming back to McLaren. Ooh, imagine. They make so much money from their series, they don't want to invest so much. Yeah, exactly. That's why I always figured they would just be an engine supplier, or just run the team and not be an engine. I don't know. They definitely make way more money from like endurance and other stuff. Yeah, I don't think they definitely don't need to get into F1. All right, we have entered our second pit window. I'm kind of curious as to when Bottas is gonna stop. Did Bottas stop already? Say when they boxed in lap. They boxed onto the. They might be doing. He might be doing the one stop. Not gonna lie. Actually, he likely is doing the one stop. He's on 73% hards. He's probably doing the one stop. All right, battling Leclerc and Ocon for a podium spot. Crazy. All right, we're gonna jump back over here briefly, because we are gonna be boxing this lap. Lando, box this lap. Let's set a good in lap. Actually, go. Okay. Box this lap, Lando, for mediums. A box for mediums. Let's fly. You can't stand Red Bull because the two higher ups at Red Bull. Yeah, I'm okay. Real talk. I'm so interested to see the Drive to Survive episodes that are covering like Toto versus Horner in this season, because I think it's going to be fiery and I cannot wait. All right, Lando, box. God, our stops are so slow. All right, we're gonna get out in the gap ahead of Verstappen. Good. Still 2.5 seconds ahead of Russell. Good. We're gonna have the pace over them. Ocon, Leclerc, and Doohan likely aren't going to the end. Actually, Ocon and Leclerc might. I don't know. All I know is that we're gonna have to make up some ground nice and quick. I said though, we're not exactly that far behind. Lap times. Oh, I guess we'll see on this lap. I forgot that was our out lap. Now we're flying. Alright, honestly, our natural pace should be pretty quick considering they're on old mediums, and then Bottas up there is on old hards. Bottas is like a tenth of that lap, losing time to those behind. We've pretty much already caught up to this group. Getting a toe down the back straight even without DRS is massive. All right, we need to harvest a little bit. That's the fastest lap, baby. All right, we are going to standard fuel push, harvest ERS. We're gonna try and build up some ERS to use to try and make our way through this little foursome back towards the front. These guys are really trying to go. The Enduin's got to stop again, right? There's no chance he's taking 48% tires to the end off this. Like his pace is gonna fall off a cliff here soon. Alright, doing his more. Oh, there we go. Oh, they're all boxing. Let's go, dude. And we get DRS. Let's go. What are they boxing for? Mediums again? Or softs? Probably softs, right? 14 laps on softs is a lot. Mediums, wow. This could be a banging lap time. Clean air, DRS, fresh-ish mediums. We should be flying. Where's Bottas? He's at the end of the straights. Going across right about now. Runs a 132.5. We run a 130.9. Oh my. Did they make F1 Manager to come out after F1 23 like last year? I would imagine so. I feel like they don't want to compete against the mainline F1 game. I would imagine, right? I think they also want to get an opportunity to tune. I'm assuming that they want a chance to tune the like driver ratings as much as they can. And so like the more data, the better. And so I would imagine that I'm imagining they would give people a chance to hit F1 23. Get that out of the system, and then when they want something a little different but still F1 related, bang, F1 Manager. You like the Manager series because you like the casual gameplay? 100%. Oh, excuse me. I love it also for literally that exact reason. I have been playing more F1 22 on stream specifically, mainly because you can't see it, but I have my wheel right here. I've been learning how to play on wheel and pedals more. And it's been super fun, but at the same time, this is a great way to just hang out, talk to chat, and just basically just get to watch F1 races all night. Mick in P4, let's go. He's got a long way to go to hit a podium, but Mick Schumacher in P4. See, we gave Mick the best thing, valuable experience and knowledge, and realistically way better experience than he would have gotten anywhere else. You don't have a wheel, so driving games are a pain. Yeah, see, when I bought F1 22 when it first came out, I started making a series for YouTube of my team, but I was playing on controller, and I just, man, it got old. It was definitely a pain, and so I waited until I got the wheel and pedals, and then kind of got far enough into this series to restart that series. And it's so much more fun. It's so much more intuitive and a little more, just so much more engaging to play the mainline games on a wheel and pedals. But like every racing or driving game is so much better. You have a yoke for Flight Simulator? Nice. You think about connecting it to F1 for F1? That would be... I'd watch that video. That sounds hilarious. Like getting to hire and fire your drivers and staff if needed, depending on the team is. 100%. Totally understand. Yes, being in control of an F1 team is like the best part. Over on my Discord, I'm compiling a list of features that I want to see in F1 23. I want to make a video about it and see if we can catch any traction on any of these things. But like, I would love to see in F1 23 an expanded like team roles list of like an expanded like more like control into like mechanics, race engineers, like getting a little bit more of that kind of stuff, like all that stuff, just like an expanded list of roles, like doing co-op within the same team, like that kind of stuff. That'd be great. You connected a flight yoke to the F1 game and this is what happened. Exactly. Yeah, no, literally. I mean, is it clickbait? I mean, that's exactly what it is though. That's the thing. As long as you bang in a great thumbnail, man, that's a million views right there. Banging them out. I let ChatGPT play F1 Manager, and this is what happened. Banging. Million views right there. Easy money. Sometimes that's just how you got to YouTube, you know, unfortunately. Yeah. Going back to the... You would love the ability to switch. Yes, that's another one I put on there pretty early on. Being able to switch teams. Being able... I honestly... I would be entirely okay playing the exact same game, except if they let us do like 10-player co-op online saves. Like get 10 people in the same league, everyone chooses a team and then they manage that team. That would be amazing. You gave Alonso GP2 engine and this is what's happened. Now that's a video. That's a banging video right there.
You've got loads of energy. Confirm.
Oh, that's a good one. Be cool to do a co-op, see who manages it. Yes, I would love a co-op, even if it's just like a 2-player co-op, to see who, like let them be on different teams. I would love to see a co-op where you're on the same team. I would love to see a multiplayer co-op where it's like you could do, like I say, like 10 people managing, one person does each team. I also came up, I think it would be interesting to do single race, like solo races, like not have to do a series, but do like a solo race where you go, I want to race around Monaco as Ferrari, and then you can set the weather to be what it is and then like do things like that. I think that could be a very interesting thing to add, like be able to do like situations and try to do things like that. I'll say a bonus to bring drivers with you, to say yes, being able to bring drivers along with you, switch for a lower team as they trust. Yes, all of that I'm in. I'm so in. If they, honestly, this is a great foundation for the series, but realistically being able to add stuff like that is what will keep this game series going for basically the rest of time. Strategy simulator, exactly. Akon in the bin, doing it into the top 5. Let's go. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of forgot this is like how this is the same race that Pierre crashed out in like immediately. We feel like we've just been chatting it up the whole time. Yes, give the Ferrari the strategy simulator. We need it. But it would be interesting things to see like that, getting more like in depth with the like with like the research and development of parts, like getting to like go into more detail on what goes into researching and developing parts. I think that would be super interesting, seeing like different impacts for like facilities and like being able to do that. Big W for Williams, 100%. Doing's about to score himself some decent points. The problem is Red Bull's getting a double points finish. Lando's gonna win, but realistically this is going to go down pretty poorly considering how early we retired Pierre. You've been seeing a lot of people playing Motorsports Manager, so I need to look into that more. I've seen that. I want to look into that more because I love, as it turns out, I love manager games, and so I'm always down for more more manager games and stuff. And the AI in F1 manager video games does a better strategy job than Ferrari. Yeah. To be fair, this past season, sometimes that was a very, very low bar. So, I don't know. All right, let's speed this up. I mean, realistically, Lando's not losing out to Bottas, who's on, at this point, 38% hard tires. Just, I don't know, charge it up. Light tires, bring it home. Bring it home, Lando. All right, we'll watch this last lap. But realistically, like, this race is over. It's one of the more dominant Lando Norris races I've seen so far in the Haas. Oh, this is actually better. Battling Charles Leclerc on the last lap. Who's gonna take the podium? Is Doohan gonna ruin the podium celebration for everyone? Or will he stay behind the Red Bull? It's all gonna come down to this tire check. Leclerc has 6% better tires, but realistically they're about the same. DRS opening. Leclerc successfully defends. Oh, it's all gonna come down to this. It's all gonna come down to the back straight. Jack Doohan to put that Williams on the podium. DRS open. Charles Leclerc defends. He's not gonna make the move. Jack Doohan cannot make the move around the Red Bull, and Jack Doohan will come home and finish just off the podium. P4 for the Williams driver, ahead of, in real life, reigning dual world champion Max Verstappen. Wow, what a last lap battle. Doohan not enough pace out of that Williams down that back straight. Ooh, it was touch and go there for a minute, but he managed to pull it off. Lando won, by the way. We kind of missed that. The cutscene is saved. Lando Norris, not his first win, not his first podium, but it's a dominant win here in the United States of America. Jackpot Doohan unleashed, 100%. What a finish. What a finish here in Miami. The Haas F1 team, America's team, in their first visit in 2026, right? 2026. Puts it on the top step. Pierre Gasly in the bin.
A sensational
Yeah, bad luck speeding it up, because every time you max speed, one of your drivers seems to wreck 7 out of 10 times. See, that happens to me a lot sometimes too. It's almost like in the F1 games where you simulate qualifying, or like the rest of qualifying, and all of a sudden they gain like 6/10. It feels kind of like that.
The other two talented drivers completing today's podium lineup.
That's a great podium.
This is a good
That's a good win. That's a great win for Haas. It would have been better with Pierre up there. Look at all these gains, by the way. Kevin Magnussen in the bin, Esteban Ocon in the bin. Everybody else made up at least one spot in the top 9. Wow. Pierre, we're not going to talk about you, Pierre. You deserve it. Lando Norris jumps 2 spots to take a 3-point lead in the drivers' standings. What a crazy turn of events. Pierre Gasly in the bin, stuck on 22 points, now falls 9 points behind his own teammate in the constructors. Haas now 20 points. 20 points clear of Red Bull in the constructors. We are flying away with it. This feels all but assured. It's really just going to be this battle about who is going to wrap it up here. Pierre might fall behind Valtteri here if he's not careful. He best be careful, because next it's Spain, and Spain is really simple, and if we make mistakes in Spain, that's not what we want to see. We lost our We lost our finish position streak because Pierre retired on lap 9 or whatever it was. We lost $700,000. In the bin, Pierre. You are on the list. 3.4 million still come in, but it could have been so much closer to 6 million. Ooh, that's frustrating.